good morning, and welcome to the Mind Your Business Show. I am your host, Milt Walker with Silver Lining Consulting LLC, joined today, as always, by the private money godfather himself, Mr. Tony Calloway. How are you today, sir?
Maestro, I am doing fantastic. It is a beautiful, sunny, crisp, not all that cold, but pleasant day here in Columbus, Georgia.
Right.
I want to welcome all of our guests. Thank you for tuning in and making the Mind Your Business show an important part of your Saturday and an important part of your life because we have got a great show for you today. But in as much as, I always like to spend a little time talking to my main man right here, the chief technology officer of the Private Money Syndicate. Uh, we're almost 2/3 of the way through. Might as well say 2/3 of the way through the first month. Think about this, folks.
Right.
The first month of 2021, and we all had goals. So I'm just going to ask you, Maestro, are things kicking for you? I mean, is it out of the box hot? You see yourself getting ready to hit that first turn.
Yeah, I do actually. Yes, yes. Things are really heating up, and I'm glad because it's been a little cold for the past few weeks. But definitely, I think with everything that happened last year, I think people are starting to see the value in using technology to help elevate their businesses, and so I'm starting to get a lot more interest in that, and so and I'm happy about that because it's helping to push innovation and push us in the way into the space age, into the Jetsons, as we were saying the other day, right? Versus the Flintstones, so we can kind of keep going forward and find some solutions to some of these big
Right.
problems that we face a lot of
Yeah.
times. So
Well, I got to give one of our regular viewers, Satish Mahadi, a good longtime friend of mine, that Flintstones to the Jetsons, I guess,
nice
was,
one, nice one,
yeah,
bro.
parallel analogy is actually what it is. But hey, I'm excited for you, man, and I'm excited for all of you who are our viewers today. You're going to get a chance to spend some copious time with me as I'm going to talk to you about my crusade for 2021 and beyond. And the crusade is to tell you, my people, all right, and if you classify yourself as part of the family, then you're my people, okay, how that you can accomplish your goal of accumulating wealth. And if you do what I'm about to describe to you, you don't have to have money to do it. I want to teach you how to get the money that you need to accomplish this outcome. So now, as I go through and share with you these important factors today, the maestro is going to put into the chat how you can get yourself a copy of the presentation that I'm going to go through. So I also want to ask right now that everybody like, follow, and share the Mind Your Business show here with the Private Money Syndicate. And if you have questions about anything, go ahead and get those into the chat early because I feel like we're going to have a lot, and this is going to be a very focused discussion on the things that are important to you. So go ahead and get yours in so we can get them aired during the show, and I certainly appreciate you doing that. All right, so here we go. We're in January, and somewhere between December and January, most serious-minded people, and I trust that you are, sit down and they think through and they write down their goals for the next year. Does that sound like you, Maestro? I mean, is that
Yeah,
something that?
yeah. I actually did it a little bit. Like me, I did it a little bit before the beginning of the year. I did it around my birthday, around the 22nd of December. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Now we got to remember that next year, everybody. Okay, we got to sing happy birthday. See if that's on a Saturday. But
I
so
know.
you write your goals down, and there's this process that might be a topic for another show that says goals, then objectives. So the objectives are the subsets of the goals. Then you have your implementation, which is the things that you actually do to make those objectives happen. And then I call that governance. Governance is who's the person or what's the process that holds you accountable for those things. That's part of the methodology that we use here at the Private Money Syndicate as we're building and growing this enterprise that is serving a lot of people and a growing number of people as we continue to scale. But now here's the point. If your goal was to go into business or to invest in real estate, I promise you somewhere in the course of that, money is or will become a part of that process. Am I right or wrong, Maestro? You got to have the money to make those things happen. So, from the standpoint that oftentimes people don't have the cash, but let me tell you that the most important thing that you can do to put yourself in control of cash is to be able to have access to other people's money, to have access to credit, to have access to loans, to have access to borrowed capital. I want you to realize, and I might get kind of intense, that's my pleasant type A personality. I want you to realize that most businesses run, I'm talking about multi-million, multi-billion dollar enterprises like Amazon, for example, run on borrowed money. That's, I mean, they have billions in profits, but they also have billions in debt because they can leverage their processes through having access to capital. And so that's what I want to focus on today. And then near the latter part of the show, probably in the middle, so we have time for conversation, I want to give you a game plan, a verifiable, factual game plan that can help you within 3 years, make sure I'm holding up three fingers, 3 years, accomplish $1 million in wealth. Now, if that's worth you sitting here paying close attention to me for the next 55 minutes, then I guarantee you this is going to get you off and out of the box hot, like I was asking Maestro, when it comes to you accomplishing your goals. So now let's talk about credit for a moment. Now, most people don't care about their credit until they want to buy something. Can I get an amen? Okay, and I'm talking about something like a car or a house or something like that. I mean, it's not something that we sit thinking about each and every day, but I'm here to tell you that if you have less than perfect credit, your credit is probably affecting your pocket and your bottom line right now. And in fact, I want to pull up something and I'm going to go to presentation mode. Maestro and I practice this, so hopefully it'll go well. And I want to actually share with
You
you,
got
this is
this.
on our website, the Private Money Syndicate.com. And I want you to actually be able to go to this particular page. It's on our news page on privatemoneysyndicate.com. And this is one of the articles, the horrendous cost of less than perfect credit. The horrendous cost of less than perfect credit. It references 2017 USAA article, but I want to go down here and just kind of hit the high points of it. It said, what many Americans don't know are these other insidious costs of poor credit. If you have less than perfect credit, your car insurance, homeowners insurance, and renters insurance premiums are higher. That's costing you. If you're going to get your lights, water, and gas turned on, then obviously it's going to cost you more in terms of your deposits that you may have to pay. If you're looking to rent an apartment, then you're going to have more, oftentimes more of a deposit. In some states, Georgia, which is where we live, being one of them, uh, poor credit can be a basis for denied employment. And then this last one down here, for those of us who have been or are in the military or work for the federal government, having poor credit can be a disqualification or a revocation for a government security clearance. So I'm just telling you, your credit score is more than just something that's going to help you to buy stuff when you want to, buy a car, buy a house, or those kinds of things. Having excellent credit saves you money. And so, from the standpoint that as I talk about what we're sharing and on topic to discuss today, your credit score can also be the key that will unlock the bank vault for you to accomplish your personal and your business goals and ambitions. So, today we're going to talk about credit as a business resource, okay? Because the Mind Your Business show is about helping you to, as we always say, if you're going to go into business and stay in business, you have to mind your business. Well, today I want to talk to you about going into business, and we're going to use real estate as a business model because real estate is a financed business. And as I said, the three, and I say it a lot, the three things everybody says, everybody, I'm talking to you, everybody says they're going to do is go into business, invest in real estate, and write a book. Maestro, am I telling the truth? I mean, if you interviewed
That's
100
that's a lot
people,
of what I hear. Yeah.
yeah, those three things. So two of the three we're going to talk about tonight. And if you don't have 10, 15, 25, 50, or $100,000 stashed in your bank account right now, then you definitely want to like, follow, and share this with everybody you know because you can have it. You can have it. You can have a 700 or 750 credit score and you can have money. You can have money to go into business and invest in real estate. And you know this already. You know it. I'm not telling you something that you hadn't heard, but I want to make it I want to make it so live and clear to you this today that you got to get with the program. Now, before we go any further, and so I can calm down, I have only had one cup of coffee today. But man, I'm so passionate about this because I didn't understand this. Okay, and I want to tell y'all the story that I shared on my radio show, the Mind Your Millions show that I do on Enlistic Media. But I'll come back to that just to kind of get us into this. But Maestro, do we have any shout outs this morning and maybe any questions as we get things started?
We got quite a few. So let's get it started. Edward Winton says, "Good morning, everyone. What's up, Daniel?"
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Victoria Patterson is back with us again, another top fan. Good morning.
Hey,
Good
Vicky.
morning. Uh, she says, "Access to capital, thumbs up. Definitely, definitely. Got to have that." And Brandy Denise, one of my friends, she's joining us this morning. She says, "Amen." She's also a credit expert, so she's definitely singing your tune. Horace Solomon, he's coming in. He says, "Good morning, brother. Good morning to you,
Hey, good
brother."
morning.
All right. Vassandra, Miss
Hey,
Vassandra, the beautiful Vassandra
yeah.
is joining us. She shared our
Hey.
post. Thank you so much for sharing. And she says, yes, yes.
All right. Well, thank you all for giving us your time this morning. And again, for those who have not put a comment in the chat, and I'm going to ask the maestro to go ahead and put the message. I'm going to have now. I told you how to find that particular article on privatemoneysyndicate.com. Then go to the news link. They'll take you to the news page, and it's one of the articles is there that I written back in I think 2018 or 19. But yeah, check that out. And that's just a framework for what I'm going to talk about today. But I'm going to go through a presentation later. So if you want to get that sent to you, the maestro is going to put in the chat how you can get your own personal copy sent to you. And we want to start developing a means to stay in communication with our great fans like those who've given us their time this morning and some comments. Okay. But again, if you got questions about what I'm talking about, please put those in the chat. All right, so now let me go back to 1983. 1983. Now I tell you, I'm from Roberta, Georgia. I grew up in the country. I'm a country boy. All right. And if you stand around me long enough, you'll hear me make some type of agricultural farming analogy about something. It's just the way I think about the world. But anyway, I was a lieutenant. I got stationed at Fort Benning after having had two previous assignments. And so my mother called me up. Now, I grew up and paid cash for everything. Credit was not even a really an important part of life growing up. I mean, I knew my grandfather had a credit account at Banks and Store because he farmed. And pretty much farmers, if you don't realize it, they get paid once a year when they take that crop to the market, but all year they're spending money out. So we'll go down and Mr. Bankston put, cheese and stuff that we didn't grow ourselves, milk, he put it on the book. And I'd have to walk to the store, get it, and walk all the way back. It was about a mile, one way one way back. But anyway, that's my concept of credit. Okay, never really thought about it. Everything I did at that point, I was living on post. I bought two or three cars, cash, and everything else was cash out of pocket. So anyway, I get stationed at Fort Benning, and my mom says, "Well, you need to establish credit." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't know what. How do I do that?" She said, "We're going to go to the credit union, and you can take out a loan." I'm like, "For what? I don't need." She said, "So you can establish credit." I'm like, "Okay, mom." All right, so we go to Robbins Federal Credit Union, Warner Robins. We apply on the spot. They approve me for the loan, and I get a loan for $1,000. Get the cash in my hand. So we're walking out. My mom said, "Well, give me $100." I said, "For what?" She said, "Because I'm your mama." True story.
Right, right. Because I just put you on to this.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay.
That's the referral fee, right? That's the referral fee.
All right, now this is a true story. All right, so anyway, I get the bill comes in the mail, and I can't remember. I think the payments were like $90 a month or whatever, 100. Let's just say it was 100. So 2, 3 months I pay them, and then one month I got extra money sitting around, so I decided to pay $300. Pay. I said I'm gonna go ahead and pay for 3 months, so I sent them $300, and so the next month I get a phone call from the credit union. I'm sitting at my desk in First to the 58th Infantry, as a matter of fact. And they said, "Well, Mr. Calloway, Lieutenant Calloway, whatever they call me at the time," he said, "We didn't get your payment this month." I said, "Well, yeah, I sent y'all three payments last month." And so the lady says, well, you have to pay every month. I'm like, why I got to pay you every month? And I paid you for 3 months. I mean, I'm ticked. I still probably feel you. I'm like, she said, well, you have to make monthly payments. I was like, well, I sent you 3 payments, and I ain't sending you more money in for another 3 months. Click, hang up. So I think the next month I went ahead and paid it off, whatever the balance was. I'm like, man, this crazy crap. I'm ticked off about it. So anyway, that was it for that. So I got married, and I think it was like 2 years later, my wife and I are looking to buy a house. So we're sitting there with the loan officer, and the loan officer says, well, back a year or two ago, whatever time frame was, you have a late payment history on the loan with Robert Farrell. I said, well, how was that? She said, well, it says that you were 2 months, you had two missed. I said, no, I paid them 3 payments at one time, and I ain't missed no pay. I'm arguing with the lady saying that. So anyway, we got approved the loan, bought the house, and all that other stuff. But I didn't understand credit. I mean, I tell to go further, say I got a debit card. Now remember, everything I ever did, I either wrote check or paid cash for it. So I go to the ATM machine, and so it asked me for my PIN. I didn't remember my PIN. I didn't know I had one. And so I hit something and stuff. Anyway, it kept my card. I was like, bump this crap. And so probably like 4, 5, 6 years later, before I ever had a debit card again. So needless to say, even though now this is for a guy who had a 28-year career in financial services, selling investments of all kinds, stocks, bonds, mutual. I came from a mighty long way, as old folk would say, all right, because I did not understand this thing. But to the here and now. Now, there might be a lot of things you don't understand about stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and yeah, you need to prepare for your retirement. But if you don't understand credit, you are as ignorant. I didn't say dumb, stupid. I say ignorant as I was back in 1983. Because it is like the lifeblood of your own personal financial existence in the world. Anywhere, I just show you a job can use your credit score to deny you employment or to grant you employment. A security clearance. You might be paying an extra $10, $15 a month for your car insurance, extra, $120 to $300 a year, just because your credit score is 2, 3, 4 points below the threshold where you would get a better pricing. And Lord knows when you go to buy something. So it's really important that you make it a personal mission in 2021 to get a 700 or better credit score. You need to have excellent credit. Now, there are a lot of people, in fact, Maestro mentioned the name of somebody he knows who's on the show watching this morning, there are a lot of people that do credit repair, and many of you have either had an experience perhaps getting your credit repaired, or you heard somebody talk about their experience. And here's the facts. Most people who complain about it didn't work, it's probably their fault, okay? Or maybe it wasn't explained, or maybe they felt like they paid too much. I don't know, whatever the misgiving is. You can manage your own credit. That's not the issue. But when it comes down to having excellent credit, even if you have a perfect payment history, you might have a 600-ish credit score because you don't have some of the other facets that are important to you having an excellent credit score. For example, you may not have 3 trade lines. Now, for the longest time, my credit stayed below 700 because I don't need credit. I mean, I'm not saying I'm rich. I have 1 credit card and a mortgage. I pay off everything. That's it. And so even though everything had a great payment history, my credit score was less than 700 because I needed to have 3 active trade lines. I ain't had a car note in 20 years, y'all. Just facts. I don't like having bills. I told you I'm from the country. So from the standpoint that I went and got another credit card, and my credit score jumped up into this early low 700s just because now I met that parameter. Another thing is utilization. If you hadn't heard this, if you do have credit cards, your credit cards need to be below to get the max, benefit of credit. Need to be below 30% utilization, or at or below 30% utilization. So if you're in 50, 60, 80, 100% utilization, again, sometime on my Amex, because it would allow me to carry a balance, I might run it up and go a couple of months and then I pay it off because it gave me that latitude that my credit score varied by 15, 20 points. Again, and the other thing is not even monitoring or not even knowing your credit score. Somebody asked me what my blood pressure is. I don't know. But is my blood pressure important to me as an African American male? Maestro, what you think?
Yes, definitely,
Yeah. Okay.
definitely.
All right. You're driving down the road, your speedometer is busted. Do you need to know how fast you're going when the state patrol, when Popo pull you over? All right. So all I'm saying is these things you might need to know. All right. So from the standpoint, another thing is when I say those three, you need to have a secured and two unsecured trade lines. I had a house, I had one credit card, I needed another one. So all these things, history. Now, at one time, I had a Sears card, I had a J.C. Penney's card. I mean, again, this was all before I had it because I worked at Sears when I was in school and stuff like that. And I didn't know that closing those accounts was a bad thing for my credit history. I got mad at them because I paid them off and I closed them out. Didn't know. I had a Home Depot card, paid it off, closed it out. Okay, because in my mind, I don't want to have the debt. I don't want to be thinking about debt. I'll just pay for it cash. Now I know that that is probably different than the world today, where the more often the case is people have a lot of cards and things. But the reality of it is that your credit score is keeping you from having the tool that is going to allow you to accumulate wealth, which is access to OPM, other people's money. Let me tell you something real quick. Now, for those of you who say, I ain't going to pay anybody to fix my credit, you're going to stay broke more likely than not. All right. And here's why. Somebody could, let's just suppose that they paid $1,000 to get their credit to a 750. Let's just suppose that. All right. Could be less, could be more. It doesn't really matter. But the fact of the matter is, you know, if they got access to a 750 credit score, 700 credit score, we have programs right now where we're getting people 40, 50, 75, and over $100,000 in credit lines. Right now, today, we have clients who are either have or in the process of getting those credit lines. And if you have, how long would it take you, Maestro, for you to save up $50,000 cash?
Well, I guess it all depends on how much I can save.
It'll take a while, though, right?
Right, right. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
start flat footed right now. Okay, I ain't trying to get in your fight. I'm just saying, start flat footed right now. Because I keep telling him one day he's gonna get paid the big bucks for working with me, but not today. All right. But listen to me now. If you say, okay, in 2 months or 3 months, I can save up $1,000, then that can put you in immediate control of $50,000. Now think about it. You get your credit score up to go buy $50,000 Mercedes Benz. You get your credit up to go buy a nice house. Maybe a $200,000 house. I'm talking about you getting your credit up so you have access to cash, so you can go get stone cold wealthy.
Right.
You got to have an intentionality and a purpose inside your mentality and desire to accomplish things. So when I say that you need to have a 700 credit score, I'm not talking about to buy stuff. That's what most of our mentality is oriented. I'm talking about for you to go get rich, for
Right.
you to accumulate assets, for you to have control of other people's money. And we set people up for success every single day here at the Private Money Syndicate by showing them a pathway. And I'm going to share with you in a minute, so stay tuned on how they can have a pathway or a roadmap to become wealthy by investing in real estate. Not just the money, not just the concept, but we actually have a coaching program that I'm not talking about that today, but you need to make sure I got your contact information because we're going to gear it up come summer to September. Because right now we got 6 people, and 4 of those 6 have gotten between 40,000 and $100,000 in credit lines, and they just started in the program back in, let's say, November, because they enrolled in late October, and we're going to start having some of them on the show coming up so that they can share their stories with you. But they didn't have, listen to me, and we're going to say some, they didn't have $50,000, they didn't have $30,000, they didn't have $100,000, they had good dadgum credit. Are you feeling me? They had great credit, and then they got the money to go out here and accumulate. Well, why not? Why not you? Why not you? All you need to do is have a made-up mind and great credit, and we'll help you with the rest of it. Any more shout-outs, Maestro? Let me calm down again.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, we do. Yeah, yeah. Let's let your blood pressure come down a little bit.
anyway,
Let's
y'all
so
fix what blood pressure is. Okay, go ahead.
right. So for Sandra, but this is good though. For Sandra says, I feel your passion. So they feeling the energy coming out the screen. So that's good. Miss Victoria says, uh, great knowledge. Ryan Calloway's joining us. What's up, Ryan? He says, good morning, gents. Um, Kenneth Davis is joining us. He says, I made that same mistake by paying months ahead and find out on my credit report that I missed a month or two when I went to purchase a car. Right. exactly.
Okay, I'm glad I
Ryan,
wasn't the only one.
right, right. Oh, and it's probably, it's probably millions, but
Now look, Maestro, I don't know if that's the Kenneth Davis that grew up in Roberta with me, because I know two Kenneth Davises. But hey, Kent, if you're still watching, let us know if you're the Columbus Kenneth Davis or Roberta. Because if you're from Roberta, that's just a country thing, you
right, right. And then Ryan Calloway says, preach, he's with you in the church. Victoria says, get credit score up to get rich. That's right. She
know.
says, awesome. Versandra, she comes in and says, on my way, I'm inspired. Kenneth Davis said, I'm feeling you, Tony. Uh, Victoria says, yes. So, yeah, yeah, we got
Certainly.
got a lot
And we,
of positive
all right, well,
feedback coming for this. Go ahead,
okay.
Tony.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Well, Maestro, go ahead and put that comment in the chat if you hadn't already done so. Now, I'm going to go into a presentation. Um, and to get a copy of that, I want you to text your name and email address to 706-888-3719. And that'll be in the chat. And we'll post it again in case some people came in late. But let me go back into presentation mode here and share with you the 3-year roadmap to $1 million in wealth. All right. You see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. A little notification just popped up. 3-year roadmap to 1 million in wealth. Now, there are 3 requirements, 3 foundational requirements. Now, the first of those is, if you can see, it says massive desire and hustle. Now, just because I'm giving you the roadmap, it doesn't say that it doesn't have mountains and it doesn't have valleys and it doesn't have. I'm giving you the roadmap, okay? This is a journey that I'm empowering you with knowledge and resources to accomplish. But you got to have the heart and desire and the dream to do this. But now, if the outcome is for you to have $1 million in wealth, I hope that you have the motivation. But oftentimes, and I say this with all love intended, simply having motivation is not enough, because motivation can fade. I mean, how many of you, and I'm proud to say I'm still on my weight loss goal, started in December. I'm down 11 pounds. And it started off hard. It got easier, but now it seemed to be getting hard again. You're going to have those mountains and the valleys, but you got to have some hustles too, because some folks just ain't hustlers, Maestro. You know what I'm talking about? I mean,
That's right.
I was
You're right.
born a hustler, and I don't mean hustling like on the corner slinging rock.
Right,
I mean,
right.
hustle like I like to make money. I like to do things to make money, and it's just, and I like to serve people. I like to make money by
Right.
providing value and serving people. The second thing is you have to have a professional support team, and that's what the Private Money Syndicate is about. When you go to privatemoneysyndicate.com, go to the About Us page and look at the professionals, look at the consultants, look at the advisors, and what we do. And I want to prelude to sometime by March, our advisor, Renzi Richardson. I don't know how many of y'all listened to President Biden's discussion of Build Back Better plan, but that is going to create tremendous opportunities for government contracts for men, for minorities, women, and veterans. And Renzi helps people get certified to get government contracts. So we help to finance the equipment through the Private Money Syndicate, credit lines through the Private Money. We put people in business with what we know, who we know, and what we can help you to do. But that support team, in this case, we're talking about real estate investing. We have models, processes, tools, all those resources. And if you want to get into our coaching program, I would encourage that. But that's, we only let a certain number of people in, and we're not going to have another round coming up until somewhere between July and September. I'm just telling you, this is what you need, so that you don't pay the ultimate price of failure because you don't know no better. And what I call that, as it relates to real estate investment, Maestro, I call that infant mortality. I say, right, people that go up there think they know what they're doing and they mess it up, and then they're out of the game forever because they
Right,
got
right.
hurt. I'm the training wheels. We're going to teach you how to ride the bicycle. But granted, you got to have that desire. And now the last thing of those requirements is that 700 credit score. And when it says or 1,000, 2,000, get it there in 60 to 90 days. Now, I'm not trying to sell credit repair, but as I go through this thing, if it's worth it to you, for the other reasons that I mentioned, for you to invest. Listen to me now, to invest. We have the best credit repair resource to get this done that I have dealt with. And I've vetted a number of them. I'm actually a credit repair person through a program myself, and I don't use that one because what we're able to put people with is better. It's better in several ways, and I'm not going to say it's the best, okay, because it might offend somebody. It's effective, all right, Maestro. I think that's the best way for me to describe it. It's highly effective because it not only allows you to get rid of derogatory uh, information, to include having bankruptcies temporarily removed from your credit profile. That don't make the bankruptcy go away. We have to clarify, but they won't see it in time for us to get you that window for you to get the credit line. I mean, we work with create, I call that the smoke screen, so they can't see it, so we can get you the money that you need. Also adding what they call authorized user trade lines, because you have to have high limits represented on your credit report that allow you to get the higher amounts in terms of the credit lines. So we have the tools, the resources, and we do it in such a way that makes it affordable, because we want everybody to have that 700 plus credit score, so we can get you that 25, 50, $100,000 in credit to go out here and execute on this roadmap to $1 million in wealth. And let me say this, that right now, because interest rates are already low, I don't want to overstate it. I'll say about a third of our clients who are getting the trade lines are getting 0% interest for 12 months.
Mm.
Now, scratch your head for a second and think about this. Let's just say my credit was 600, and in the next 90 days I want to have 700 credit, so that I had access to $50,000 at 0% interest. Is that not the same as cash?
It is.
Now, if I could pay, if you got 700, you ain't got to pay nothing, okay? Like I said, but if you need to get there, unless you got a better idea to get yourself there in 90 days, then let's just say it costs you that much, and it might not be. I'm just putting that figure up there just to make it real. If I had the best 1,000 to get my hands on 50, if you were me and you were smart, I bet you do that. Because if I was you and I was smart, I would. Okay. All right. So those are your three requirements: massive desire and hustle, professional support team, and a 700 credit score. Get it however you want it. But I just tell you right now, today, we can get it for you and get it quick. All right. Now let's go to year one. All right. So the first 6 months of year one, folks, you got to get your credit right. Now, it might not take 6 months, but now during the 6 months, the other thing that you're doing is getting your team of resources together. You need to have a realtor. You need to have contractors. You need to have folks who can help you to handymen. You need to have appraisers. You need to have other resources. You need to get your LLC there. We have a checklist that's about 2 pages long of all the things you need to have in place, so that when you get the money, you ain't trying to see. Here's what we make a mistake doing sometimes. I know I'm sounding country today, but I'm feeling myself. All right. Instead of being ready, when the window opens, we want to start getting ready. Because see, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. If you believe this is going to happen, you need to be ready when they open the door. Don't go get a credit line with $50,000. Say, oh, now I'm going to get my LLC. Now I'm going to go out here and build some relationships with some wholesalers and people who can help me to find properties. I'm going to get my business plan. I'm going to open up my business bank. I'm going to start getting ready after I got the money. Listen to me, folks. This works. And during this time of preparation, when you're getting your credit score to where you can get the $50,000, you get all that other knitting and needling done during that time frame. Does that make sense? All right.
Perfect.
So that when we go to month 7 through 9, follow the bouncing ball. All right. It says use your credit line for the down payment on property. Now, listen to me, Maestro. If you didn't have $50,000, instead of you saving up for the next 5 years, eating beanie weenies and sausage links and
Right.
stuff like that, trying to script and all that other stuff. Hey, look, get your credit right. Now we're taking this money. We're not buying a car. We're not buying a house. We're not buying trinkets and toys. We're investing in assets. We're buying real estate. This does not make sense to you. So from the standpoint, let's say that you bought a property that you bought for $75,000 and renovated for $20,000. Now, in other words, generally speaking, with private money loans, you got to put 30% down. So let's just make it simple. A third of 75 is 25,000. So you got $25,000 down payment, and you put $20,000 in the renovation. And when it's all said and done, your property is worth $150,000. Now, is it easy to find deals that you can do this with? No. Do they happen regularly? Yes. But you got to learn how to do it. Now, one of the students in our coaching program, he actually, through a realtor, is trying to find properties. And so we got the realtors listening. We're asking you to bring us clients that we can help fund too. But he was showing the comps, and one of the comps, there's the other ones were showing that people were buying these properties that were being comparable to the one he was looking to buy, were around 65 to 70 something dollars per square foot. One of them had sold for $35 a square foot. I said, you should have been that guy. Okay. And so somebody bought it and they were going to renovate this property, the same, square footage construction type. So it fell into the comp range. All I'm saying is you do have to find the deals, but they are out there. So let's just say it takes you during that first 6 months while you're getting ready. All right. You're out there scouting for deals. So let's just say, and we have different techniques where you might be able to tie it up with some creative financing. When month 7 shows up, you've got it, you get it, you got your team ready, boom, they hit that thing like lightning, and by month 9, it is developed and you got it rented out. Well, now with a monthly mortgage payment on that thing, now that you refinanced it, of $900 a month, and you're renting it for $1,200 a month, that means you put $300 a month in your pocket. Now, remember, think about this now. I don't want to go too fast for you. Tell me to slow down if I need to slow down, because I want y'all to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. All right, you started with good credit, or if you had to invest $1,000 to get good credit, all I'm saying is at the end of the day, if you're making $300 a month as in this scenario, at the end of the year, you got 900, that was 300 a month times 12, that's $3,600 that you've accumulated in cash. So if I just do a cash on cash basis, I spend $1,000 cash to get me $3,600 in cash. You use money, we call that flipping money. You use OPM, other people's money, to make you real money. See, that was that line of credit is just digits. But when you put that cash flow from that real estate in your bank account, that's real spendable dollars. Can I get an amen? Okay.
Amen.
All right. So that's 7 through 9. So we got some more year left, right? So you've done it one time. And I tell people, you do something one time, you don't know if you were lucky or if you good. Am I right, Milt?
That's right.
Now, if you do it twice, you might be good. So here we go. 10, 11, and
All right.
12, do exactly the same thing and get exactly the same result. Now, see, like I said, you got to find another deal. So now, once you find the first deal, you got people working on the property. You could be looking for another deal. So technically, you're in this 6-month window of finding deal number 2. All right. By the end of the year, you found the second one. You got it renovated. You got it rented out. Same math. Now you got another $300 a month coming in. So remember, we started with what? Great credit. Maybe spend $1,000 to get great credit. By the end of 1 year, not only do you have 2 properties worth $150,000, oh, we ain't talked about that yet. You now own assets. Now you can't sell credit, but you can sell what you bought with credit. Can I get an amen? Okay. Let's just say that you say, hey, I want to sell the house for $150,000. What did you pay for it? 75 plus 20, 95, and now you're going to make what, $65,000 cash that you can spend if you chose to do that, where you'd have to pay commissions and stuff. Well, let's just say you could maybe make 50 if you sold it. But smart people would rent it out because it's going to keep going up in value. You're going to keep getting rental income. Oh, did I mention depreciation? Oh, did I mention deductible interest? Yes, your tax bill will get lower. You make money on taxes outside of the positive cash flow. All right, but now to get back to math, $3,630, that's $7,200 a year in residual income. So let's go down to year 2. Now, year 2 is like year 1, just doing it 3 times. So every 4 months, 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 9 through 12, you're finding properties, renovating properties, renting them out, and cash flowing the properties. So now this is doing it 3 times the next year because you got your team in place. You made some friends who are real estate wholesalers. You found agents who know how to give you what they call pocket listings. That's when they go get these, I call them distressed properties. They know you got money. So when people know you got money, I'd say that you got to talk loud and crazy sometime to get attention so that people know that you for real. Now, if you out here buying and renting and all this stuff, real estate agents, the way they make money is selling property. So they get somebody and they find a property that's distressed that you can buy, below market value, fix it up and do what we're showing here. Then they're going to be coming to your wholesalers. They go do the homework, find these distressed properties, and they're trying to just flip them to somebody. Well, they flip them to you. They make a little bit. You make a little bit more. But, those are just some of the ways that you can start locating. I'm just talking about doing three. I ain't say you doing one a month. And you watch HGTV and some of these shows, these real estate investment gurus that come on late at night say you can do like one a month, one a week, and all this kind of stuff. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking one every 4 months. And if you have some desire and hustle, tell me now, do you think you could find one every 4 months? Milt, I'm just going to ask you since you're here. Could you?
Oh, you could definitely. I mean, you could find 4 or 5 of them just riding down the street every day if you really
Exactly.
looking.
If it's looking, like I say, if it's looking raggedy, it's probably below market value. You just need some TLC. And TLC, we can help you to take care of that with having excellent credit. All right. So by the end of the year now, you got 5 properties. So you got them all cash flowing you $3,600 a year. So let's go all the way down to the tail of the tape. Now here we finish up year 3, and all you did is did the same thing you did in year 2. All right, same exact process. All right, so you got 3 more properties, you fixed them up and rented them out. And so let's look at what your life is like now. I want you to think of your life before you had excellent credit. Close your eyes and dream with me for a minute. Okay, before you had excellent credit, everything was okay. Everything was fine. And let's just suppose you weren't in distress, you're paying your bills and everything. You really didn't know what your credit score was, and therefore it was not an asset that you utilized. See, some of us don't understand that having excellent credit is an actual asset. But now you got to take that intangible asset and use it to create tangible assets through a process that I've just laid out for you. So at the end of 3 years, you have accumulated 8 properties valued at $150,000. That's what is that? What does that say?
1,200,000, 200,000.
One
Excuse me. Yeah.
1 million two. See, you even have a hard time saying it. $1,200,000
Right.
assets. And what did it? You use other people's money. And let me be. Let's like be going up to Milt, say, "Hey, Milt, let me hold some money," and he let me hold some money. I pay him a little interest on it, and then I go back and I make myself 10 times the money. And that's what happens every day. That's why Amazon's got billions of dollars in debt. Okay, because they can use other people's money to go make themselves money with. That drops to their bottom line. All I'm telling you is get your credit right. Okay, get a 700 credit score. Let me do this for you as my gift to you for being a viewer of my show. All right. Now let's look at the positive cash flow at the end of 3 years. You got assuming $300 a month. Now, somewhere I think maybe the folks in year 1 might be paying 950 by now. What you think, Maestro? But let's say they're still
Hmm.
paying $900 a month times 12 times 8 properties. That's $28,800 a year. For a lot of people I know who live in the parts of Georgia I'm from and around, you can retire in 3 years, or you can keep this ball rolling. Now, what could you do with that $28,800? You could accumulate it. You could use it to go toward paying off other debts that you have, becoming debt free. You could use it to, vacation with and enjoy quality of life. You might say, I want to go get me 8 more properties to make that $57,600 a year. I mean, whatever you decide you want to do, that's entirely up to you. But now you have a roadmap. Now let's go down to the text below. It says, not because you had $50,000 to $100,000 cash in the bank, but in bold print, it says because you had a roadmap, master desire and hustle, professional support team, and a $700 FICO score. This could be your life. So I ask you to close your eyes and think about life now, and I want you to think about life 3 years from now. The difference between your life right now and the life that you can have 3 years from now is an excellent 700 credit score, a roadmap, and the support team. And that is assuming that you are adding your desire and hustle to make this happen for you.
And I just want to add something in real quick because I think it's really, really good for us to highlight this, and I think you said it right at the beginning before the presentation. You're not just, giving people money and leaving them out there just to, just fall flat on their face, right? You're giving them,
Exactly.
the support, you're giving them a roadmap, you're giving them, you're lending them your expertise. You have all these systems in place that actually help people to get to that point and support them as they become that millionaire. I think that's very important for people to kind of understand, that it's not just, just giving it to you and just letting you, letting you go.
I thank you for reemphasizing that, Milt. Now, to the extent I'll bring up our coaching program in reference to what Milt just mentioned. Now, right now we have 6 students who are working with me. They're actually out making offers on properties. One actually has a contract that might get accepted. They're waiting to see this. But since let's say November, they've been getting their credit right, getting their credit lines. Like I said, we got people between 30 and 100,000 who've acquired credit lines in that range. Most have been in the middle. I'll say 60, $70,000 in credit lines. But now they control capital that they can go out and use as a down payment money. And I was writing an email to one of them because he was getting frustrated because he said, this is hard to fight. Yeah, because he's made offers, he ain't got it. But to make this kind of money, it ain't gonna be easy. Okay, you do have to compete, but I have saved all of them all kind of time and making poor choices and decisions because of what I know that they don't. Because here's the self-interest that we have at the Private Money Syndicate. We make loans. So if they find, and as I mentioned earlier, I try to help my clients avoid what I call infant mortality. That's that rookie mistakes that gets people to see if you, and I'm saying this because I do want to encourage you to engage us. So if you would go ahead and text the request this presentation, and that'll get you in our information flow so we can keep you posted as we go through the year and get ready to have our next group to go through. But from the standpoint that if you make a bad deal on a real estate investment, the realtor's going to get paid, the lender's going to get paid, the contractor's going to get paid. But guess what? You might not get paid. So I'm trying to keep folks from making those kind of mistakes so that I can develop and cultivate a clientele that knows how to do this, was to take the training wheels off and keep on and keep on and keep on. And we can continue to grow wealth together with this model that helps them to get started, not with just, as Milt said, the perfect credit, but also you have the professional support team. That's really important. So bottom line is, if you come to me with a great credit score, that desire and hustle, and as I told all of them, I said, look, I need you to do what I tell you to do, because I'm not going to tell you anything that's not in your best interest, because I'm not here just to book a loan. I'm here to create a client. I'm here to create a real estate investor who, as you go from 1 to 5, I've got one of my clients has 40 plus properties, and he started with me at 16, 3 years ago. So I didn't just wake up this morning and decide to start showing folks how to do this. Okay. So this methodology works. And in fact, if you go to our video vault page, we got a couple of interviews with him on there. So from the
Mhm.
standpoint that, yes, this is live, this is real, and this is for you. There's not a person that's going to view this now or in the future who cannot do this, but you can't do it alone. So I want to take the presentation down, but yeah, to get you a copy of this, please text to 706-888-3719. It's in the chat, 706-888-3719. Give me your name, because I ain't sending it to nobody who want to be scared to tell me who they are, and your email address. And if you give me the wrong email address, it won't get to you. So give me your name and your email address, and we'll make sure that you get a copy of this. And then you'll be getting other great stuff too that we're sharing with the world to help them to power their dreams with private money. But yeah, this is, roll it back to the top. This is the roadmap to $1 million, 3-year roadmap to $1 million in wealth. All right, so that's the presentation, and I come back and join you on the screen. All right, so Maestro, any other questions or any other shout outs or comments?
Yeah. So we just got a lot of positive feedback. Nikki Johnson is joining us. Says good morning.
Hey,
Uh, see, Spark D was asking where the list was. I pinned it in the chat, so she has it there.
okay.
Victoria Patterson says own assets. That's right, assets. Yes,
All
and that's it. That's
all
it.
right.
Yeah.
Well, uh, let me talk about, let me summarize. I guess that's the best thing to do. Your credit is an asset. So I said that kind of in the middle, but please understand, if you didn't understand this before, your health is an asset. That's why I'm getting myself into better shape. I said wealth and health are your two greatest benefits when you get up in age. As you can tell by all this gray hair on my face, ain't a spring chicken. I still got some spring in me. Okay. All right. So from the standpoint that, take care of yourself, especially in this period of COVID-19, heck, 2021, heck, they got all kind of variants out there, but get your credit right, okay? Because it can save you money on stuff that you're doing in general life. Now, let me share this because I used to sell property and casualty insurance, and this relates. All right, so let's say your credit score improves from 600 to 700, and you say, well, heck, my insurance is still the same. Here's how insurance companies make money. You buy a car, you know it goes down in value, right? All right, so if you stay with the same insurance company and you have an accident, it's less and less they're going to have to pay out the longer you stick with them. Now, if you change companies, then they're going to look at you now. They look at the value of the car now when they're underwriting the car, and which includes your credit score. So you might have to tell your current insurance company, hey, my credit's improved. I want you to re-underwrite before I go look at somebody else. Don't just be loyal. Be loyal with a little conversation every now and again if you like whoever you're with. But yeah, most people save money when they change, especially if they've been with another company for 2 or 3 years, because the car is less valuable. Most people don't know that. Most of those car insurance commercials, I know this is off the script, are not necessarily trying to get new customers by saying you can save money with Progressive, you can, in good hands with Allstate, get the Jake rate with State Farm. They try to make you say, oh man, my company I'm with right now is the best. I might as well stay with them. They ain't trying to get you to change. They're trying to get you to stay. Because the longer you stay, you're going to keep paying the same thing. And Lord have mercy, you have an accident, then you're going to pay more. But get your credit score up, look and shop, and call your existing company and bet you save money. I bet you save money. Okay. And when it comes to, on deposits, utilities, whether or not you can get the job, or if you can get a securities clearance, if you're in the military or government, all those things and more revolve around your credit score. Cell phones, plan, all these things, they do look at your credit. And some of y'all know this because you got denied. Okay. All right. But hey, that's all fixable. Now, the other thing is, in addition to understanding that your credit is an asset, you got to learn, and what we have to do as my people is learn to use that asset to accumulate tangible assets, use that intangible asset to accumulate tangible assets, to accumulate cash flow. Now, if you own stocks and mutual funds, which I sold those for almost 3 decades, those are intangible. Okay, stock market's going up, 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 up. I know kind of why, because the government's printing money like crazy. And that's why interest rates are so low, because they don't have to service all that debt as far as treasury bonds. And all I'm saying is, while the iron is hot, in this moment of opportunity, in as much as it seems like a moment of distress and chaos and turmoil, if you have excellent credit and a game plan to acquire assets that are cash flow generating assets, then this is your time. This is the time for you to take action right now, January 2021. And I'm going to just tell you right now, if I don't see your name and I don't see your email address in that text, what are you listening to me for? Seriously. I'm trying to teach people how to get wealthy. I'm trying to explain to them in sensible terms, because that's the way I think. I'm a country boy. I break it down so I can understand it, which kind of makes me pretty good at teaching it to people. This is not rocket science. There is science, but we done broke it down to where all you got to do is follow instructions. Now, how many of you, by raising your hand, say, I can follow instructions? If you can do what I tell you, because I'm not going to tell you anything wrong. Notice I ain't trying to sell you jack today, okay? I'm trying to teach you to buy. I get paid when you get a loan to buy that $1 million piece of that real estate, okay? That's how we make our money here at the Private Money Syndicate. We're not on the front end, we're on the back end. All right, so I'm not going to tell you anything that's contrary to my own interests, because our interests are aligned. So that is what this has been about today. So from the standpoint, if there's any other questions, Mitch, you can let me know. But I'm really excited about 2021. I'm really excited for you in 2021, because now you're thinking about something that maybe nobody made you thinking about it this way before. You are a decision away from a 700 plus credit score, which means you are only a decision away from being wealthy. It's never been easier, folks. Not ever. Not ever easier than this right here. So if I'm talking to people who, as I used to say, and I'll say it again today, if you got good sense and you got some gumption and you understand English, there's no reason for you to not be working with the Private Money Syndicate to accomplish what exactly it is we're talking about today. How accomplishing the goal of a 700 credit score can save you money in your day-to-day stuff, but can put you on that 3-year roadmap to $1 million in wealth. All right. So with that, I'm going to ask Maestro, anybody else we can say anything or answer a question to. Otherwise, we can get ready to roll it out and wrap it up.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to everybody who listened today, watched, and was able to, put in chat, and anybody who is texting their name and email to the Private Money Syndicate for that copy of the $1 million in wealth in 3 years plan. Ms. Victoria Patterson says, create tangible assets. She's giving you the thumbs up. Definitely, I want everybody to kind of just go back and re-listen to this if you need, if you need the energy to get you started, because again, this is something that's really going to be important coming up in these next years, is to really establish yourself so that you can have that stability, that financial stability. And as everything kind of evolves and changes, then you want to have something that's kind of rooted. And real estate is one of those things that's it's not going to go away. It's always going to be there. Property, land, ownership, all these things are just a part of the whole infrastructure. So it's not going to go anywhere. And so definitely thank you for sharing your insight, Tony.
All right. Well, hey, I want to sign out by saying, I appreciate you guys showing up today. And please, please, please like, follow, share. Send this to everybody in your messenger list. I mean, our goal is to get to $100,000. I'm saying dollars, 100,000 viewers as fast as we can, and we know we can do that with your help. So, please share this message and continue to tune in. And as I always say, if you're going to go into business and if you're going to stay in business, you got to mind your business. So with that, I'll let Maestro take us on home.
All right. And if you have any need in your technology realms, anything that your websites, your cybersecurity, please let us know. We still have that deal going on until February, so we'll still be able to assist you with that. And again, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Tony, and y'all have a great rest of y'all Saturday. And really think about this for the rest of the weekend. How you can be a millionaire within the next 3 years. And thank you, and God bless. Peace.